Hello Milky friends, it is Milkster here with you for another Idle Heroes video. How are you? I hope you're well. Just a caveat up front, I didn't actually attend Harvard. I have been to Harvard for lunch. It's a beautiful institution. I just titled the video that way. Guy that went to Harvard does Imps Monopoly Analysis, because I want to see how many more views I would get for that video by having a more catchy title. I'm probably going to get a stack of thumbs down, but that's okay. None of it matters. I know no one watches my videos. So this video is more of an update to the video I did yesterday about the Monopoly, where I told you about the value of the materials chest and how to value that, and I sort of gave my thoughts on that, and that was wrong. And I like to thank Chazzy Plays for pointing out that in the materials chest you actually get 50,000 promotion stones and dust, and not the 5,000 I had in my spreadsheet. So thank you, Chazzy Plays. That changes the value calculations substantially. In this video I also took you through what it means to do incremental analysis. And so if everyone watches this video, just watch the first half of this video. You don't actually need to watch the second half of this video where I talk about new trial of champions. I actually don't want people to know what I said about the new trial of champions, because you actually paid attention and clued on, and too many people do it. It actually fucks up my strategy. I know that only 300 people and less than 1,000 people watch my videos, so there's very little chance of that happening. But for those die-hard fans that actually do pay attention and understand what I'm talking about, when I spout my mindless crap, what I talked about and how to approach new trials of champions, that has a big implication on gameplay, right? And so if everyone literally fucking does that, that's really, really bad for the people that actually do it. It's like one of those things that you don't want too many people to do. It's like it's the same thing with the value packs, right? And how I tell people that there are countries where you can get those packs for cheaper. I don't actually want too many people to do it, because if everyone does it, the developers will clue on and update the pricing, right? That's why for going forward, new trial of champs, I'm gonna do just a video and post that privately on Discord for the people that actually do follow me and subscribe, right? I want to keep the numbers on this low, because it's just so obvious what you need to do in that mode to win, and and you don't have to do a lot to get like really great get really great rewards in new trial of champs. So I'm gonna do a private video on that separately. I'm gonna post it on my Discord, and it's just gonna be for the diehard fans, the 20 of you that actually bothered to show up, and obviously my guild, because I care about you guys and I want you to win. But today we're here to talk about Imps Analysis, well, the updated version of this. So Imps Monopoly, Imps Adventure, for very quickly for the new people that, if this is the first video that you've seen on my channel, how this mode works is basically, you get like 28 dice over the course of 7 days, so 4 dice a day. And you basically roll that dice and you go around this board, right? And every time you pass certain huts, well, not certain huts, every time you pass these mushroom huts, you're going to get stars. And there's 3 of these mushroom huts, and the more times you pass these huts, the more stars you get. And the number of stars you get at the end of the day correlates to which chests unlock, right? Or which kind of rewards unlock. So if you get 80 stars, you're going to get 10 scrolls. If you get 110 stars, you're going to get the 10 scrolls, as well as the elite 5-star non-light dark hero shards, as well as these different chests. That's the premise of Monopoly. Super easy, and there's like other people that go into videos about the best strategy. There really is only one strategy in Imps Monopoly, and that's if you get a lucky dice. So if you land on this hut, you're going to get a lucky dice. You should only use a lucky dice when you are either on this square, Spirit Workshop, the one before this shitty Karma hut, on this square, this square, this square, this square, or this like heart Chaos Stone square. And that's when you basically use that dice to get back onto the lucky hut again to get another dice. Effectively, you get free movements from basically anything from 6 squares before this lucky dice hut. You get a free movement there, and it's valuable. It does add up, right? So that's how you do lucky dice strategy. If you're always wondering about, when people hop on about, well, you should use a lucky dice strategy, what does that mean? That's exactly what it means. But the 2 things I want to do today was, one, update you on the value of this chest materials. So if you get 230 stars, you're going to get a choice between 100 million gold, 75 million spirit, 50,000 promotion stone, 50,000 spirit. And yesterday I mistakenly said you should absolutely go for gold or spirit, because that's worth way more than what you get here in terms of spirit and promotion stones. I was completely fucking wrong. I was way off, because I thought you could only get 5,000 promotion stone and 5,000 pink dust. You don't. You get 50,000, and that changes the math completely. So if you look at the chest, the second chest, and what you can get in terms of rewards, and you change everything to the equivalent gem value, right? Promotion stones and the pink dust are worth like 6 times more than the golden spirit. Yesterday I told people to get golden spirit because I left a 0 off promotion stone and pink. And so if you leave a 0 off promotion stone and pink, you're like, well, I can get 1,000 gold, or I can get 600 promotion stone or 600 pink dust worth of goodies when you convert everything to gems. Completely wrong. It's 6,000 promotion stones and 6,000 pink dust. So mea culpa, which is Latin for I'm wrong. If you're a lawyer, you'll know what it means. If you know Latin, you probably know that as well. And if you don't speak Latin and you hear someone say it, just run. Because that guy's probably a douchebag. So that's materials, update to the materials chest value calculation. Thank you to Chaz Plays for pointing that out. So if you get 230 stars and you get a choice, you get the materials chest from Imps Monopoly, like this one. Pick either the promotion stone or the pink dust. Most of you will probably go for the pink dust, which is fair enough, right? But that also has, believe it or not, serious implications for the value of this adventure pack. So yesterday when I did that incremental analysis, I did it on the premise that when you buy these 20 dice, and let's assume, and I assume someone was on like 190 stars, 200 stars, and they basically needed another 20 stars to get the 200, not the 200, basically the material selection chest and the light dark hero chest. That changes the value of this adventure pack significantly, because I completely cocked up the value of the materials chest. So I've updated the analysis, right? So what I've done is I've used the simulator. This is only for Android, right? That's someone posted on Reddit, OMV88, and basically it simulates. You type in how many dice you have, and then it tells you on average how many stars you can expect to get. And so I want to stress this is a Monte Carlo simulator, meaning that he runs a simulation, and then on average he'll give you an average. When you play this game 100,000 times, this is the number you can expect to get after a certain number of dice. Assuming you get a certain number of dice. So if you're a free-to-play player and you don't spend gems on buying any more dice from here for 150 a piece, I've already bought all mine, and you're not going to do shelter missions and get these heroes out, because each one of these non-light darks that you swap out, you get 5 dice, right? If you don't do any of that, and you only use 28 dice a day, assuming you don't get any lucky dice, you can expect to get about 61 stars. That's what the simulator says. I think it's some of these numbers are a bit on the high side, but let's just go with it. Like last time I tried to build one of these and talk about these in my videos, I got so much shit for it. I'm just gonna deflect the attention, give credit to this guy, and if you disagree about the simulation numbers, you can take it up with this guy rather than me. I can only fight one battle at a time. And so I've done a number of scenarios. I've done scenarios with a lucky dice. So I talked about the lucky dice strategy and what that means. And so with lucky dice, obviously you can expect to get more stars because you're getting free movements. But then I also did scenarios where, for example, let's say you're a free-to-play player and you got gems and you spent money on buying more gems from from the place where you can buy more gems, which is here. Ordinary dice. So let's say you bought all 30. I did some simulations for 58 dice. So you can expect to get, if you bought all the dice, 4,500 gems worth of dice, you can get, using 58 dice, you can expect to get 149 gems. And with a lucky dice, I don't know why that still says 159. Oh, it's 10 more. Yeah, so you can expect to get 10 more stars. So about 160 stars. Then if you do everything, you do the shelter mission and you buy all 30 dice, you're going to have 78 dice to play with. And there the simulator saying you can expect to get around 214 dice. If you're super unlucky, you can get a lucky dice and you can't do the lucky dice strategy. But if you got a lucky dice and you can do the lucky dice strategy, it's telling you can do about 223. Well, you can expect to get on average about 223 stars. I know a lot of you dispute this. A lot of you always get the 78 dice, and a lot of you finish below the 200 mark or around the 200 mark. Certainly that's the case for me, and that's why I think the simulator is a bit optimistic when it says the average is about 214. But like I said, it's an average. It's saying here, if you look at the stats, it's basically 75% of the time you can expect to get at least 200 stars or less. And what is it saying? It's saying 24% of the time you're going to get, what is it, 200 and more? Is that how it works? No, it goes the other way. So in terms of interpreting the probabilities down here, it's basically saying there's a 100% chance you're going to get at least 80 stars, 100% chance you're going to get at least 110 stars, a 99.9% chance you're going to get at least 40 stars, and so on and so forth. So there's a 24% chance you're going to get 230 stars or more when you have 78 dice. But on average, the simulator is saying you're going to get 214 dice, right? So then you're like, well, what the fuck does that mean, Milk? So I didn't go to Harvard for lunch. So this is the next part of it. So the video from yesterday, I basically talked about incremental analysis, meaning these value packs, right? This Imps Adventure and this value pack here. It's hard to value these dice because it really depends on where you are with your star situation. And so you should only ever buy these packs on the last day, after you used up all your dice, because then you're asking yourself, well, let's say, for example, let's say you're on 214 dice. Basically, what the simulator says, if you get 78 dice and you're unlucky, you're going to get an unlucky dice, right? On the last day, you're on 214 dice. So then the question to yourself is really, well, Milk Stew, is it worth me buying? So you're 16 short of the next chest, which is the 230 materials chest, and you're 46 stars short of the light dark hero selection chest, right? So then you're asking yourself, well, should I buy more dice to get either the materials chest, or should I buy more dice to get the light dark hero chest as well? So if you're an average player and you end up on 214 or more dice, then the math here is basically saying you're 7 dice short of the 230 star chest, and you're 19 dice short of the 260 star chest. And how I got to the converted stars to dice is basically, I assume each star or each dice was worth 2.5 stars, and that's a conservative number. The most optimistic number you can use is 3, but I've been burnt before using that assumption, right? If you're going to plan doing incremental analysis, assume each dice is worth 2.5 stars. So let's say we end up on 214 stars after we've used all 78 dice. Then the question is, well, Milk Stew, should I go for the 20? Should I buy 20 dice? Because this adventure pack gets me 20 dice. So then the analysis you do obviously is then convert all of the things that you can get here to stars, right? So the 5,000 gems obviously just converts to gems. You convert these 60 scrolls to gems on a 1 to 125 basis, because each scroll you can buy in the Aspen Dungeon or the Marketplace or the Merchant for 125 gems a piece. Then the dice, you have to look at the value of the chest that you're going to hit using those dice. So if I'm going to hit the 230 star chest and the 260 star chest, I have to work out what the gem value of those chests are, and I've done it for you, right? So there's if you're going to hit the 230 and 260, you're going to get about 10,188 gems worth of value. So you got to slot that into what you get on top of the gems and the scrolls. And so that's saying the adventure pack, if I use the 20 dice from the adventure pack, because I'm on 214 stars to then get over 260 stars, that allows me to get 2 more chests. And the 2 chests that I can get in questions are the 230 star chest and the 260 star chest. And the 230 star chest is worth 6,000 gems, because I've just talked about the materials that you get and why you pick the promotion zone on the pink dust. And I can also pick any light dark hero I want, and that's worth about 4,188 gems, because if I can pick any light dark hero, theoretically that's worth 80 feathers, and each feather is worth about 52 gems. And I've gone over that analysis in previous videos. You can see it in the spreadsheet. And if you want to know where I got it from, just watch the video titled, if I can link it. Here's a link now. If you don't see the link, it's because I haven't fucking worked out YouTube. And it'll be the video that's titled, I think, I Value Everything, or it's like 3 videos ago from this. But effectively, then, if you plug the value of those two chests into the adventure pack calc, the value that I get is a 453 gems per dollar spent. And that puts us way over the 354 gems per dollar spent average that we expect or want to get when we buy these special packages, right? And so the moral of the story is, this adventure pack, if you are on over 210 stars, right, these 20 dice are worth enough that it's worth buying this adventure pack. That's the takeaway, right? I haven't gone and tried to work out if it's worth buying these dice as well. Simply because I don't know where you're going to end up with stars. And because I don't know where you're going to end up with stars, it's hard to say, look, you should buy this many dice or this specific pack because it's worth it. I've only done it for, I'm going to what assume is the majority of players. You're going to get all 78 dice because you're going to do shelter mission. You're going to have bought all these dice. And so when you're at over 200 stars, you're asking yourself, should I buy this adventure pack? The answer is yes. Conversely, at the other end, I know there are a lot of free-to-play players that sort of watch my videos, and if you do, thank you so much. You're not going to end up with enough stars. You have to buy dice you have to buy these dice to get these starry, well, these chests or these rewards, because the simulator basically says, if you just use 28 dice, you're shit out of luck. You're going to end up somewhere between 61 and 69 dice, or stars, sorry. I keep interchanging stars and dice. But if you use 28 dice, you're going to end up with, like, just no rewards, right? 61 and 69 dice stars get you nothing. Well, dice convert stars from 28 dice gets you nothing, because you need 80 stars as a minimum to get this, right? So if you're a free-to-play player, then you're probably asking. I've done the analysis for you very quickly. Everyone else, you can just tune out now. But if you're a free-to-play player, scenario 1 and 2, 61 stars and 69 dice, your only options to go any further are to buy dice at 150 stars per dice, right? So if you end up with 61, 69, somewhere in the 60s worth of, if you're over 60 stars and you're a free-to-play player and you're asking yourself whether or not you should spend 150 gems to basically get to 80, the answer is yes. The answer becomes more yes as you go over 61 dice than it does at 60 dice, right? Because obviously, if you're on 60, well, if you're on a higher number of stars, you need to buy less dice. And so you're much closer to getting these 80 rewards. So then on an incremental basis, you have to spend less dice to get more rewards. And so it becomes way more worth it. So that's how incremental analysis basically works. Where are you at with your dice or your star situation? How many, and when you convert how many more stars you need to dice, and you work out where you can buy the dice, then that's how you do the value analysis, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that's the updated video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I will do a separate video on Trial of the Champions. I'll do it on Monday, and I'll just do it for people that watch it'll be a private video. I'm going to make it private, and then maybe in like 3 months time when everyone's worked out the strategy, I'll do a collage of how I fucked everyone over at the last minute. But yeah, it's Try the Champions. There's a super obvious strategy to winning, and you haven't clued on to it by now. I don't know what you're doing. But like I said, it'll be on my Discord. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend.